So, if you go onto Buddy Body Poffin and look that up on Wahoo or any website, you could definitely tell it's a very popular card, with many people getting the gold cards and even making them on the common cards. You could tell Buddy Body Poffin is very popular. But for what reason? Again, it's just a normal card, with even prices going for above $3 to $5 for some of them on eBay. Now, yeah, it's not that expensive, but when you think about most of these trainer cards or item cards, they never go up in value. So why is it that all of a sudden these are? Now this is the card we're looking at. This is the Buddy Buddy Poffin. It says, search for your deck of the 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less and put them onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck 429 listings or TCG player. Now you may be wondering, what does that mean? Now, if you're not a Pokemon TCG fan or someone that plays the game, you would not understand how big Buddy Buddy Poffin is when it comes to playability. So, fair enough, at number 10 was actually one of the cards everybody wanted from Temporal Forces at number 10. And that being said, I actually have over, 4 cards of Buddy Buddy Poffin, so yeah. The question doesn't stop there. We have more to talk about, such as value increase. So, that's what I did. That's what we're going to do. Log up Buddy Buddy Poffin. And there you go, sure enough, there the card is already. So, you can see it increased by 9.76% over a past 3-month period. So it was actually at $1.64, and now it actually did hit a very interesting low right over here. It hit it at 1.22. Now it's back up to 1.80. But in a month period, it went down by 26.32%. So, by a month ago, it used to be $2. And now it's down to $1.68. So, in a 1-month period, it went down by 26.32%. For 3 months, it went up by 9.76%. By a 6-month period, it went down by 44% exactly. And a year ago, it's the same thing, as this came out not even a month ago. 6 months ago, it came to about $3 for it. So yes, it's still at least $1, but that's this Buddy Buddy Poffin. Many of the lightly playeds are about $1.80. Near mints are about $1.70, and much more. But again, what I also want to include on here is by looking, and when I say this, guys, I want to show you one more thing. Now, this is really weird. Watch this, okay? Paldea Evolved. What you want to do is Paradox Rift. This is the set you want to look for cards that may be expensive. You got a $3 Earthling Vessel. Counter Catcher's $1. And yeah, so right there is the Earthling Vessel. The most expensive one here. A reverse hollow foil is worth $5 right now. And over a month period, that went up by, holy crap, 489.58% in a year period. It went up by 96 cents up to over $5. So, and then a 6-month period went up by 81%, 3-month 29, and it went actually by a month period, it went down by -6%. But it used to be over 489% up in the last year, which is insane to think about. There's even one going for about $10 right now. There's as low as listings as $1.98, which is still pretty good. So a lot of these are playable, and when they're playable, their value goes up. So let's talk about how long this card will last. Now, I just logged up on here about one of the articles on TCG Player that talked about this being a meta warping card. So here it is. Now on here, this is on TCG Players for the sites and stuff, for some of the articles. It's the top 10 most meta warping cards and Temporal Forces. So there's even honorable mentions such as Warring Moon. There's Hero's Cape, and then at number 10 we have Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking. 9 is Mist Energy. 8 is Iron Leaves. 7 is Emergency Board. 6 is Iron Crown. 5 is Eerie. 4 is Maximum Belt. 3 is Chickeno. 2 is Prime Catcher. And number 1 is Buddy Buddy Poffin. So that's where we get it from. So the main reason why this card is so expensive is because it's a meta warping card, okay? It changes the meta up as we know it. So many of the cards that you will see here are ones that people use in their deck does super extremely well, or at the time this was made will do extremely well. So the reason for number 1 is with the rotation of Battle VIP Pass, which used to be very good in the Sword and Shield meta, many players were wondering how the evolution decks would be able to keep up, as they no longer had a way to get a ton of basic Pokemon into play on the first turn. Buddy Poffin solves this issue and is even slightly better than the Battle VIP Pass, as you could play it after the first turn. This is balanced by the fact that you can only search for Pokemon with HP under 70 with it, so the decks using basic Pokemon EX will be unable to search for their main attackers, which is a downgrade for this and pretty bad, or it's like a con, which are like problems you'll go along with this, like experiencing with this card for your meta. You also can't search support Pokemon like Rotom V or Radiant Greninja with it, so expect many decks to feature very high nest ball counts to find these Pokemon. However, this doesn't diminish the strength of Buddy Poffin. Searching out a Charmander and a Bidoof on the first turn with only one card is incredibly efficient, and you can play it on turn if you missed it on the first turn. I think Buddy Poffin will be the most impactful card from Temporal Forces, as it gives players the option to play evolution decks that keep up with the big basic decks. Don't be surprised to see it anywhere in London, and don't be surprised to see it everywhere in London in April. So that's usually why it's like one of the biggest cards. So yeah, that just tells you it's a meta warping card. So that being said, as though Battle VIP Pass was good, meta has changed, which the meta went over to Buddy Poffin for being the best. The words I mentioned just now, metas change. So that being said, all the cards that used to be playable in Scarlet and Violet one day will actually be forgotten, and actually, unfortunately, will be forgotten by metas, because metas change how cards are played and how playable they are. So it's not going to be forever.